Hello peeps, it is Joy Presley here. I am coming to y'all with another week update on our garden, and I just kind of want to show y'all what we have going on this week. It seems like we may have a little bit of a pest problem, and I'll just kind of show you what we have and let you know what I'm doing about that. So let me go ahead and show you what we have with our plants. All right, so we have our tomatoes, we have some bell peppers here, and we have Lazarus in the mix up here. And basically, I've done something a little bit different than I usually do. Is usually I'll just wait until the plants are fully mature. Well, not really fully mature, but I'll wait for them to get a little bit bigger before I put them outside. But if you can look here at this one right here, we have some issues here with the leaves, and yesterday was a really windy day, so I'm not really sure if this was the result of bugs or insects, or if this was just wind damage because of the wind. We have our tomatoes here, and the tomatoes are looking good so far. I am a little bit concerned about this yellowing here on the leaves. That is something that I will have to look up because I've only grown tomatoes once before in the past. So I'm not really sure whether that's something that's normal or whether that's something that I need to be concerned about. Back here, this is another bell pepper plant. You can see, and the leaves are they're just gone. And again, I'm really thinking that this was probably a bug that did this. And then we have the basil plant here, and clearly that's evidence of some kind of insect damage there. All right, so we're gonna go over here, and as you can see, there are little insects on these over here. And I guess I don't really worry about these much because of most of these are just the plants that I picked off and, while I was thinning. But then I have my basil here. The basil has some yellowing of the leaves here as well. And those two are basil over there too. And like I said, this basil plant has basically been chewed through. I'm going to flip the camera back around so I can talk to y'all for a little bit more on that. All right, so let me tell y'all what I've done differently that I probably shouldn't have done. Again, I usually wait a little longer before I put my plants outside. But the weather has been kind of nice, so I wanted to try to give them as much natural sunlight as I absolutely could. So I put them out there while they were a little bit younger than I would usually do, and that seems to be a bit of a problem. Like I said, I have 3 bell pepper plants where the leaves are almost completely gone. I'm not so much worried about the tomato plants at this point. Like I said, I have to kind of look up the look up the yellowing, the little, and it's not like a powder or anything like that. So I don't think it's a fungus or anything like that. I think I have an idea of what it might be, and especially because it's on the basil too. When I noticed that I may have had issues with insects, I went and bought something called neem oil extract. And I've been spraying that. I kind of mixed it in a spray bottle and with some water, some warm water, and I shook it up. And I sprayed my plants with that. And I've also fertilized them, and I'm thinking that the yellow on the leaves may possibly be where some of my liquid fertilizer may have gotten on the leaves while I was watering, because I did that in place of watering. So that's kind of what I'm thinking as far as that yellowing goes, because I was a little messy that day. And this is an organic fertilizer that I used, one for organic gardening, and I'll show y'all that in a second. But that's kind of what I'm thinking. But as long as the plants continue to grow and they appear healthy, otherwise I'm not going to worry about that. I am going to do another neem oil spray in a couple days, because I think that's supposed to be done every 7 to 14 days. So I'm going to do the neem oil again, and that's supposed to keep the insects from eating so much of it. It doesn't necessarily kill the insect. That's what my understanding is. But another thing that I'm going to do, because I decided to put them out here so early, is I'm probably going to get a floating cover to cover them up, just to kind of keep the insects out and keep the insects from eating so much of my leaves. But again, everything other than these 3 bell pepper plants still look okay. I mean, the banana pepper plants are still doing fine. I'm going to do a little bit of more research on this neem oil because they were already sprayed, and it seems like the bugs are still eating away at the basil, and I don't really like that. Anyways, I will continue to show you my progress. I think I may have made a little bit of a mistake here by putting the plants out or sitting them outside a little early, but you know, we'll just kind of see how it goes. Anyways, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, suggestions, just drop them below. I am by no means a master gardener, so but at the same time, you know, I'm not a newbie either. I am kind of new to tomatoes, but definitely not new to gardening. So like I said, if you have any suggestions, just drop them below. I'm more than happy to look into anything that's suggested. Anyhow, I'll come back in about a week and we'll see where we are. And I will see you then. Thanks for watching. Hey peeps, apparently I had a little bit of an ADD moment, but I came back. I remember my promise. I wanted to show you what I'm using for my plant food. I am using Job's Organic all-purpose plant food, and this is what I put on the plants, and this is what it may be causing the yellowing on the leaves. I'm not really sure, but I'm going to look into that. And I wanted to show you my neem oil extract, and this is what I'm using to try to keep the insects away, and that's not really working that well, so I might need more. Anyhow, I just kind of wanted to make good on my promise because I know that I said that I would show you what I was using. Anyhow, again, thanks for watching. See you next week.